Sports Podcast, episode number 186. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali, Al Nahigian. Guys, I mean, the Patriots still suck.
They suck.
They are bad.
I mean, like, in one of our topics last week was, or at least what I wrote down on the paper, was, am I stupid for getting my hopes up after the Patriots blew out the Chargers? Because remember, the Chargers, their offense was looking really good for a lot of the time earlier this year, especially once Herbert took over. They looked real good, but
their special teams suck.
But the special teams was atrocious, and I should have looked at Cam Newton's stat line. I should have taken that as a sign that things weren't going to be going well once they played the Rams, because the Rams are also wishy-washy. So they play the Rams and just get absolutely, I mean, like, I don't even want to say pantsed. They got punched in the dick. They were brutal. Repeatedly. It was one of the hardest games I've ever watched as a Patriots fan.
It was rough. There was no hope.
There was no excitement. There was nothing.
No, it was terrible all the way around. So we're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk again about Cam Newton. The question I want to ask tonight, because to be honest with you, there's really nothing much more that we can say about this season because we're all in agreement here, I believe, unless Al, you're going to throw a curveball here at me. The Patriots season's over. Yeah, they're not going to the postseason. Minuscule.
You needed the Browns to beat the Ravens last night, which, as we're recording, the game was last night. That didn't happen, and that was it.
Game.
Great game.
Electric game.
Guys, Browns are real.
Yes.
Browns are for real.
Buy in on the Browns.
Baker Mayfield is finally showing that he's an elite quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Browns are 100% for real.
Yes.
Dude, if I bet on the Browns last night -3 and I was looking at that push, I wouldn't be here today. I would have jumped off my roof. Yep. Oh, my God. Do you know what I'm referring to?
In Massachusetts.
Yeah. Al, do you know what I'm referring to?
I believe it. Yes, I believe I know what you're talking about.
Spread -3. Although, if I bet it was going to be -2.5. I saw it a couple days ago. I think it was at -2.5. But -3 spread. The Ravens are up by 3, right? So you've got the push. If it just ends, you've got the push. You get your money back. Great. Sounds good. Sounds peachy. A 30-yard safety? About a 30-yard safety?
That's the Browns.
They're worst enemy.
They're back, but they're not all the way back.
No, I don't even care if the Browns have like an undefeated season one year. They're still going to be the Browns. Things like that are going to happen to the Browns.
Yep.
If I had money on that game, dude, I would have lost my mind. That was unreal. But, I mean, the best fantasy win of my life. Oh, my God. I lost the Couch Guy League. I'm out in that league. Unreal. Listen, my team had a great run this year, but I lost in the first round of the playoffs there. Who did I lose to? Bucks?
You lost to Brent?
I mean, his team went off this week.
Yeah, he had a good week. Good for him. He snuck in the last week of the season. He edged me out for the last
spot. That's what happened to me in my big family league. I was the higher seed. I was the 3 seed. I just lost the bye because my Mixon and freaking Jacobs didn't play last week. And then Robert Woods actually got stopped against the Patriots, so I got screwed.
I mean, yeah, I can't believe I lost to Bucks. Like, it's whatever. My big money league at home. Oh, my God. Listen, needed 9.82 points out of Justin Tucker. That's all I needed. This son of a bitch, this beautiful son of a bitch, this guy is not – he's kicking extra points. The Ravens are scoring touchdowns. They're not giving him the opportunity to kick these field goals. With minutes left in the game, I'm still down after 4 extra points in 1 block. I'm still down 4.92 points. The Ravens take that lead with 2 minutes left in the game. I text my 2 buddies who were in first and second in my league, RIP, I'm done. There's no way I come back from this. Baker Mayfield, my boy, goes marching down the field.
Yeah,
ties up the game. With a minute left, I was like, this is unreal. There's no way. I'm still like, there's no way. This is way too good to be true. Lamar Jackson, post-poop, just goes bananas. Brings it down to the 40-something, maybe the 30, whatever it is. I'm terrible at field goal math. 55-yard field goal, seconds left to keep me alive in my big money league. Listen, I'm winning the whole thing now. there's no way I lose after that. I'm winning the whole thing now.
Yeah.
My team has sucked for weeks, but I keep figuring it out.
You're gonna lose this week. You're gonna.
You should have lost it. You should have lost this week.
You
should have lost this week.
You legitimately Brownsed yourself. You cursed yourself.
If you're not on the Baker Mayfield train, you have to be now. Like there's no.
I've been a Baker guy since day one in this league. Did I fall off a little bit? Did I say, okay, maybe this guy isn't the real thing? Yeah, maybe I did, but not anymore. I am fully on board the Baker train, and Lamar Jackson had a great game last night too. Like, you can't brush over that. He did miss some open passes, but that's what you're going to get out of Lamar Jackson. I think we know what he is at this point. I still wish the Patriots drafted Jackson on this team because, I mean, imagine this team right now with Lamar Jackson.
Oh, they'd be unreal.
It'd be unreal.
As long as they got at least a receiver to couple with Lamar. But
yes,
regardless, that last night was an awesome game. But weekly dump?
Dump. Poop.
Guys, the Red Sox, they signed an outfielder, Hunter Henry Gardner.
Wait,
Hunter Gardner.
Wait,
playing the outfield.
Hunter Henry's playing two sports now?
Hunter,
Great. Can he play for the Red Sox and the Patriots?
He kind of looks like Hunter Henry. Hunter Renfroe to a 1-year, $3.1 million contract. The right-handed outfielder. I mean, let's be honest, he doesn't hit well for average at all.
Bombs though,
but he hits nukes. 33 home runs in 2019,
and he hits well against lefties. You know that's why they got him.
And listen, add windshield insurance to your car insurance if you're driving down the pike. There's going to be some balls going through windshield. That one play that one home run that keeps getting played over and over and over and over. I would love to know where that ball came down. Where Eck wasn't even saying words, where he was just moaning. I want to know where that ball landed. Hunter Renfroe hits nothing but nukes. So he's going to be fun to watch this year. The average thing's going to kill me because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of outs and key situations that are going to frustrate the hell out of me. But then when he hits a bomb, it's going to all be worth it. Oh, speaking of the MLB might be pushing back the start of the season because they want to have all of their players vaccinated prior to starting spring training for the upcoming 2021 season. I get it, but also not really. Because, the vaccine's here. Sure, great. But those guys, I mean, unless the professional athletes get put ahead at the start of the line, those guys fall in our category where we're not going to be getting it till late March, early April.
Was it the NHL that bought, like, their own stash? Like, they said they were going to –
I actually didn't hear that.
I think it was the NHL said that they were going to buy their private stash from one of these companies, Pfizer, Moderna, whoever, and get their own stash of the vaccine.
Can you do that?
I guess. If you have the money talks,
Can you just buy a vaccine?
Yeah, can I just buy my first load, please? Thanks.
I feel like that should be illegal. I feel like we should be giving out to people who need it.
I don't know. I'll let you guys know in February when I get it. I'll let you know.
Oh, because you're a teacher?
Mm-hmm. Which you called me a scumbag for last week. I don't forget.
I mean, listen, scumbag teacher.
Hey, listen. All right, go on.
Listen, you're lucky. You're gonna get vaccinated. I already got COVID, so I'm good now for a couple weeks or for a couple months rather. So, Jared, me and Al are sitting pretty here.
I'm screwed. I might as well get it.
Just
a big dumb salesman not getting the vaccine.
We'll miss you, pal. We'll miss you, pal.
All right.
Oh, did we lose Jared?
I'm not going. I haven't left my house.
He's here.
I'm fine.
He's here.
Oh, Jared's here. Okay.
I don't go anywhere.
All right. We already talked about the Ravens and the Browns. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He signs a 5-year Supermax extension with the Bucks. $228 million. Actually, I haven't even broken that down what the AAV is on that. 228 divided by 5.
45.6.
He's a math teacher, people.
Somehow that came out to 223. I don't think I did that.
What did you do? Using a calculator.
Next time, let the math teacher do the math for you, you dummy.
45.6 million. No, listen, math teachers, I used to do things in a different way, and all of a sudden you couldn't do it that way. You had to do it the special certain way that they're teaching you. Not about it. $45.6 million according to my calculator here, not 223.
Yeah, and me too. So give credit where credit's due. Yeah. Thank you.
So I mean, that kills any speculation that he could go to the Heat. potentially
Yeah,
even the
it's done.
Celtics.
It's a win for the Celtics, and we can talk about that, but that is a win for the Celtics.
It is a win because the Giannis with the Heat would have been a nightmare.
Yep.
Jake Paul is now becoming more and more unlikable after beating ex-NBA player Nate Robinson in a boxing match. And now he's calling out Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, one of the best fighters on the planet. I know he's not a boxer. He's calling out Conor in a boxing match, but part of Conor's game, part of his fighting technique, he's a solid boxer. He's a solid boxer. So having Jake Paul call out Conor McGregor is nuts.
Jake Paul's just going
insane.
nuts. He doesn't even care. He's going for clicks. He's trying to get his attention. It's fine.
There was another video out today. He was just like throwing, I think it was like eggs or something at some other dude.
He threw something at Dylan Dennis.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Another fighter.
It was on the Barstool account. Like if you look on Twitter, it was just Jake Paul's an idiot.
It's just like not even like
it's not funny.
When you watch like Conor McGregor's pre-fights, like it's fun, it's entertaining. This isn't funny. This is just douchey.
Yeah, he's literally just being a jerk. That's all.
Yeah, like it's not fun. It's not funny to watch.
No.
And also he unfollowed everybody on Instagram except for Conor McGregor's wife. The Pfizer vaccine, it's officially here in the United States. It started being doled out to, I don't know all of the states, but I know it's at Lifespan in Rhode Island. It's in Florida. I believe a nurse in Florida has already gotten the vaccine. Also New York. So the vaccine's here. We're finally turning the corner. And then last, free agent Jackie Bradley Jr. is reportedly drawing interest from the Phillies, Cubs, and Blue Jays, according to John Morrissey. I fully do not anticipate JBJ coming back to the Red Sox.
Hearing that, combined with not hearing the Red Sox at all, he's not coming back.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Should have traded him 3 years ago.
The frustration is going to be better. I mean, like, the frustration is going to be a lot more relieved after Jackie, because Jackie does the same thing every year. He starts out red hot and then just falls back into a 220 hitter.
Also, if JBJ is not coming back, just side note, everyone keeps saying, well, they signed Hunter Renfroe as a fourth outfielder. Who's their third outfielder?
Well, yeah, if that's the case, Hunter's your third outfielder.
Is he going to play every? But do you want Renfroe playing every day?
No, no, I don't.
No,
right? We're not missing anybody, are we?
Verdugo's
probably going to be
Verdugo, Benintendi, and now Renfroe. Like, why? So, are we missing something?
Jaron Duran, but he's not ready.
Oh, like, Duran, my guy. Yes, Duran.
Yeah, Duran's not ready.
That's right. He's not ready to go. So.
I wouldn't be shocked if we see Duran this year.
Yeah, later in the year when they suck and they're out of it.
Not even that. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets an early call-up. The kid, if I remember right, I don't remember the stats off the top of my head. The kid was tearing it up in the minors. And wait, he's early 20s. I wouldn't be shocked if you see Duran come up this year. Kid is going to be a stud here for Boston, which is now, I'm remembering this now, which is why I think Jackie Bradley, why I think they're not going to sign him, because they have Duran as the next guy ready to go almost. If not this year, definitely next year. That was the Weekly Dump. Guys, support for the Couchcast Sports Podcast comes from Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. And plus, Jared, I told you that, or I mentioned last week that I was going to have something to say about Manscaped. We have officially continued the deal with Manscaped through March. So we are now with Manscaped through the month of March. So
you know what I did to celebrate?
What? You trim up?
Manscaped.
Oh, dude, yeah. You have to. If you don't, you're doing it wrong. Guys, zero balls to the walls, fellas. Listen up. Untrimmed pubes are a thing of the past. It's time to gear up and get yourself the gift of shaving this holiday season. I'm talking about the Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0. Talked about it a million times. Al has talked about my story. It's a tough story to bring up. Yeah, it's traumatizing.
I'm sorry.
When I was younger, I didn't realize that you should use a razor. You should use an electric trimmer when trimming the area. I thought you had to use little tiny scissors. Clip, boom, clip the nutsack. Terrifying. That does not happen here with the Perfect Package 3.0 because it comes with absolutely everything in there that you need to take care of your manscaping. Guys, that's why this revolutionary company, Manscaped, has redesigned the electric trimmer. Their Lawnmower 3.0 has proprietary advanced skin-safe technology, so this trimmer cuts on your nuts. It's also waterproof, so you can use it in the shower. The Lawnmower 3.0 comes inside their brand new Perfect Package 3.0, which makes for the perfect gift this holiday season. It's literally everything that you need to keep trimmed up, cut-free, and smelling nice down there. And we're talking about your ball area, your beanbag. And don't use the same trimmer on your face as you're using on your balls. That's disgusting, you animals. The Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0 also includes the crop preserver and anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why are you not putting deodorant on the smelliest part of your body? And yes, your balls stink. Believe me, they stink. All guys do this. You're laying there, you put your hands down your pants. Smell your hand after, guys. It does not smell good. I guarantee it. Speaking of sweaty and sticky balls, I am thankful for the Crop Reviver. This product, along with the Crop Preserver, keeps your balls from sweating, smelling, and sticking. And these products smell good. Their manly scent is attractive and will help set the mood, if you know what I mean. We're talking sexy time. The Perfect Package will also come with a pair of Manscaped boxers that'll keep your junk fresh all day. It's time to upgrade those overused pair of boxers to Manscaped's high-performance anti-chafing boxers. 'Tis the season of Manscaped, so get yourself, your dad, your brother, and your friends the gift of all, the best gift of all, the Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0. Listen up. 20% off with free shipping with the code CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com. Your balls, they're going to thank you. Again, get 20% off with free shipping with the code CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using promo code CouchGuy20, CouchGuy20. Clean up your nuts and make Santa proud this year because Santa's going to be looking at your balls. Manscaped. All right. So before we get into the Celtics, guys, because basketball's almost back. It's almost Celtics season again, which I've been all jacked up for since I saw Jayson Tatum's new hair. That's the hair of a superstar.
Looks pretty good.
Guys, he grew like 10 feet. We're not talking about that, too?
Do you believe that story? So is it 6'9"?
6'10".
6'10"? Do you believe that he grew another 2 inches? Because I think it was 6'8" last year.
Heck yeah.
No.
Heck yeah.
No. I didn't even realize he was 6'8". I should have realized that. 6'10" is huge, guys.
Yeah. Kevin Durant height.
Huge. If I want him back to back with Kevin Durant. If he stands next to Kevin Durant and he's the same height, totally different story. If he did grow to 6'10", though, I mean, holy shit. What a monster.
Heck yeah, I believe it. 100%.
I mean, he's been 19 for 4 years, so it makes sense that he had a little bit of a growth
spurt. Still in his growth spurt. I didn't grow in college, but whatever. I stayed at friggin' 6 feet like a bum ass.
Must be nice.
But before before we get into the Celtics season preview, let's talk about this for a little bit for a few minutes. This, after watching this past game, I forget, I should have pulled up the actual stats. I can do that in a minute. The Patriots, obviously, they get smoked by the Rams last Thursday night. And that triggered this question for me, and I'm sure for a lot of other people, because there was a lot of calling on Twitter. Get Cam out of this game. Play Jarrett Stidham. Can the Patriots go another season with Cam Newton at quarterback? Because I'm tired of this, guys. I am tired of this. Can they?
No, they can't.
No.
This was the whole problem, and I told both of you guys this at the beginning. Now, granted, I did come around a little bit, so I'm not saying that I was fully, against Cam the whole season. I recognize that. But I told you guys in the beginning, the problem with Cam was he was 31. He was coming off injury. There were a lot of questions about his throwing mechanics, a lot of questions about his footwork.
There's been questions about his throwing mechanics his entire career.
He couldn't throw in Carolina
true.
Either.
But even so, right? He's still younger. He was still younger in Carolina. He had an MVP season. We saw it in 2015. That's not the same Cam Newton anymore. And you bring him in. You brought him in June. It's not like you signed him back in April where at least he had a little bit more time. You signed him right before the season started. This just seemed like an experiment that was doomed to fail. And I think this has been a failure as far as Cam Newton goes.
I mean, yeah. And so, I mean, okay, let me actually back that up because that triggers this question. Is it really failure if this is what people expected? Because a lot of people preseason, they had the record guessing around 10-6, 9-7, not great. They finished out 8-8. I also, Al, that might have been your prediction, 8-8.
I think I said 9-7. I think I was right around there.
So yeah, so it's right in that ballpark. So this is honestly like what we expected.
But was it though? That's the thing though. Was it this bad where he's throwing for less than 100 yards? I think in
I didn't expect
games.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be like this bad. Record-wise, sure. I didn't expect them to be fighting for it. Like, I assumed they'd be fighting for a wild card spot, had a chance to miss the playoffs, all depended on Cam. I didn't think he'd get COVID, but I also didn't think it'd be this bad. He's been like what?
Yeah, but you can't
96
even
games
use
in one
COVID.
game?
You can't even use COVID as an excuse. He's just been
You
bad.
told me, yes, you told me it kicked your ass. So
it did, but I'll give it to him for like a game, maybe 2. But it shouldn't be affecting the way he's playing now. He's just in like, I want to give this to him too. It's partially because he's got no weapons. Absolutely none. Like, I know Jacoby Myers looked good for a few weeks, and he still looks fine, but he's got nothing, guys. Absolutely no weapons. Not even Julian Edelman.
By the way, these are his last 8 games for Cam Newton for passing yards: 98, 174, 274, 118, 365, 84, 69. Nice. 119. And granted, I heard it last week. Don't try to pull that. I watched this show even when I'm not on. Don't try to pull that, you scumbag. Don't try to pull that. The 2 games that he was over 100, like over 200 yards, were against the Jets, who, by the way, guys, I don't know if you know this, they're 0-12. 0-13.
Yeah,
they almost beat you. And they almost beat you.
Your defense couldn't stop him.
and the Houston Texans, who have one of the worst defenses in the league. So you take those 2 games out, I mean, that's what we're talking about here. The passing yards are atrocious. You want to go another year with this? I know.
No, I don't want to do this anymore now. But listen,
see, the problem is well, they won't play Stidham. That's not going to happen.
I know, which is ridiculous.
Because clearly Belichick doesn't feel like they have any good option. Like, if he thought Stidham was a better option to win a football game, he'd be in there right now. And I don't care what people say. Belichick's goal is to win the next 3 football games no matter what. And so, because they're not in the position for a top 10 pick, they're not going to the playoffs. Yeah, so they're going to win the next 3 games if they can. That's what they're trying to do. They won't, but they're trying to win the next 3 games. And Belichick believes Cam Newton's the best option to do that. Now, I don't agree with him because at least Stidham can throw the football. Like, you have such a solid running game with Damian Harris and company that you can let Stidham play and probably still have just as effective as a running game, because it's not like Cam's been running out of the water, like running out of the gym. Like, he's old. He's not as fast as he used to be. Defenses can game plan for him. Like, I don't want him back here next year. I don't even know. I mean, I'd like to see Stidham, but, like, I'd love another option. Bring someone else in. Draft a young guy. I don't care. But, like, this guy's not the option. If he comes back next year, it's worst case scenario.
So let me ask you guys this real quick, real fast hypothetical. Going into the Rams game, knowing what you know now about that Rams team, you know they have a solid defensive line. The Patriots' offensive line, it's good when healthy, but there's obviously some holes right now because of injuries and opt-outs and whatnot. If you were the head coach, if you were Bill Belichick, going back, would you have considered starting Jarrett Stidham to have a little bit of a passing attack?
No.
See, I would have, because you guys literally just said that Stidham brings a passing element to your offense. Cam Newton didn't bring that. Now, I'm not saying Stidham would have done better, but at least there would have been a little bit more.
Well, yeah, that's the question, though. That's the thing. That's the thing. Would he have done better? I don't think so. Overall, in the grand scheme of things, no, I don't think so. I think Cam, still knowing what I know now, Cam gave you a better chance to win. I think the biggest problem in that game, like, I don't think so. So the Rams scored 24 points, right?
Right. And one was a pick six.
I don't think the Patriots are scoring 24 points no matter who they had in that game, unless it was, Tom Brady, your former quarterback of this team. The defense was getting run over. The defense was not – they made Jared Goff look real good. Mm-hmm. Real good.
Well, Alan, Cam Akers, by the way.
And you even say, like, you say the offensive line is shoddy. Now, Nick and I might disagree with you. Like, I think they played well. But if the offensive line is bad, why are you letting the kid play? Because he's not as good as Cam, as at least getting out of the way. Well, and all the situations that Stidham have gone in, all the situations that Stidham has gone in for, he's gotten destroyed. Like, he hasn't had a chance to get reps during the week, be the first guy. Guys, he's running scout team. Jarrett Stidham is your backup quarterback and hasn't even gotten reps at practice. They're letting Cam literally get every rep, and Jarrett Stidham is running the scout team. They clearly don't want him to play in these games.
I'll give actually, Al, I don't even know what your take was on the offensive line this week. The offensive line overall this season has played great. They've been awesome.
It is.
This past week, they did not play well.
No.
I mean, look how much a left tackle means. Isaiah wins out of the game. They got smoked on the offensive line. They need a solid left tackle, and they have that with Isaiah Wynn. He just has to stay healthy.
Right. The only reason that I mentioned Stidham possibly as a starter is just because you knew of how good that front seven was for the Rams, and you knew that especially Aaron Donald, which, by the way, he's been a defensive player of the year a few times. Don't think you guys know that, but, he has been. It's just making sure that you actually have – because, again, the rushing offense of this Patriots team, what are they, third in the league in rushing? The Rams
I don't
knew
know.
that.
They're pretty good.
The Rams
Pretty
knew
good.
that. The Rams knew that. They knew that the Patriots had one of the best rushing attacks. So now it's literally, if you can stop Patriots rushing attack, there's no quarterback to beat you. So you shut down the rushing, it's a wrap. I mean, that's the unfortunate reality we live in right now.
Right, but in the thing is, like, when you look at Cam has brought that dual threat at times this year, but yeah, from what we've seen, he's just not a good passer. And again, like, I'll give him that credit where it's like he's got no weapons, but regardless, he's got to do better than what he's had. We've seen so many poor throws from the guy. I think that you can say both are bad. I think you can say that Cam Newton is not the same quarterback anymore, and I think you can also say that the receivers suck.
Yes.
I think you can say both of those. N'Keal Harry finally showed up in the game. Speaking of,
Couple big boy catches.
couple of big boy catches. But regardless, you got to go into next season with a new plan, with a new guy, whether it be Matt Stafford. I don't want Carson Wentz, Jared. No Carson Wentz. That guy is broken.
That's
he
terrible.
is a project. Don't bring him in.
No.
He needs a change of scenery. He was an elite quarterback at the beginning of his career before the injuries piled up. And
For
they
like
keep
a
trying to
year.
replace him. And I think Jalen Hurts is going to be the guy, obviously, in Philly. Carson Wentz is not going to be there anymore. I would be all about it. Let's do it.
For like
So bring
year,
in
he was
Carson
he
Wentz
was
and
elite.
Sam Darnold. You want to bring both of them in? Might as well.
Let them
Jimmy
compete
G.
against
With the
each
way
other.
you're talking.
Do
With the
it.
way you're
Jimmy
talking.
G.
Okay,
Jimmy
Carson
G.
Wentz can actually – okay, that I agree with. You know that. But, like, Carson Wentz is realistic. Sammy Darnold, as much as I would love it, Jets aren't giving you Sam Darnold. Like, they're not. That's not going to happen.
Unless they
But-
cut him.
They're not going to cut him.
Listen, they draft T-Law. T-Law is there to be your starter year one.
Well, I know that, but you're not going to just cut You're not just going to cut him. Like, you're going to wait it out or keep him on your roster. Like, you're not just going to cut the guy.
I don't know. I think they might. I think they might, especially if they do, which they will. They draft Trevor Lawrence. They're gonna.
What about
have,
the
You're not just
what
gonna
about the
hold him.
stash? What about Gardner Minshew? That
Ew,
came up.
no.
That's come up.
No.
DJ Bean
Gardner,
wants him
I've never been a Gardner
For a
Minshew fan.
for a year or two. Gardner Minshew, guys. This is the
No.
world. This is the New England Patriots. This is it.
No,
like
we're going back to the Super Bowl next year. You think the Patriots are gonna do this 2 years in a row?
With who?
With all that money you can spend in the
With
offseason.
Jimmy G.
Wait, but what quarter? No, Jimmy G is not coming back. Nick, stop.
But why not? They like Mullins. You could bring in Matt Ryan. I think Jimmy G's a serious possibility.
Here's a
I would
name.
rather Stafford, honestly.
I was literally just about to say, here's a name, Matt Stafford. 1 or 2 years, bridge quarterback, develop
That's
a
it.
young guy.
But why would
The problem is you need more than 1 or 2 years. That's the problem.
You
need like 3 or
you
4.
need to draft somebody this year, and then you need to have Jimmy G is the perfect bridge guy. But I mean, you draft some guy this year. I, for whatever reason, have a gut feeling that Bill's not going to draft a quarterback in the first round, regardless of what we think, because I don't know why he likes to draft just generally poor choices lately in the first round, besides Isaiah Wynn. But you need a bridge guy. I think Jimmy's a good bridge guy, but that's if he becomes available. Matt Stafford, I would love to have him here. I would love to have Matt Stafford, Jimmy G. I'd even take Sam Darnold. But goddamn, don't give me Carson Wentz, and goddamn, don't give me Gardner Minshew. I don't want either of those guys. I don't.
Would you rather 1 or 2 years of Matt Stafford and then the young guy plays, whether it's Stidham or not, or 3 to 5 years of Jimmy and then figure it out?
3 to 5 years of Jimmy.
Yeah, I might go 3 to 5 years.
I'll be 31 years old. Who cares? I'm almost dead at that point.
You young
Let me ride it
buck.
out for another 5 years.
You young buck.
Yeah, I'll be 31 years old.
I'll be 29 in a few months.
Woo! That's old. I
Almost
have
30.
some friends now turning 30 years old. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Why would you guys do this to yourselves?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you continue to age? I've been
All right,
26 for years.
Can we talk about a good team in Boston and not this like crappy Patriots team?
The New England
The Red Sox?
Revolution, man. I was thinking about that too. Oh, man.
Hey, they
Tough
almost made it to the
loss.
MLS final, man.
Tough loss,
They almost got there.
They kicked
Don't
the
hate on
ball
the Revs,
pretty
Nick.
good, but man, too many balls went in the goal. Too many.
I mean,
Way too many.
I know that all that one goals of the Columbus Crew, unreal.
Dude, way too much kicking in the wrong direction. You kept kicking it into people. It just wasn't good gameplay. Was
For
not.
those
a good
listening,
film.
Nicholas is the reason why we don't like soccer in this country. He's an example of the people who just shit on soccer.
I'm
and
not
don't
shitting on
watch it.
soccer. I'm talking
Hey,
about
Jared.
kicking the ball in the right direction.
Jared, give me credit for at least knowing who the Revolution played against in
I was
the
impressed.
final.
Yeah.
I
That guy
could-
that clearly doesn't watch soccer. I was impressed.
Thank you.
Listen. They played the New York Firefighters, and hey, it was close. It was a close game. They played their hearts out. They kicked. They sweated.
I will real
Classic
quick.
soccer game.
I will
Good
say,
game.
what's the goalie's name? Matt Turner, is that his name?
Yeah, and he's phenomenal.
Yeah, I saw one save on the Revolution feed. Oh my goodness! Like a right hand, just like knocking the ball away. That was a really good save. That's
Nick, you know what's going to happen? We're going to go to a Revs game. I'm going to get you obliterated, and you're going to enjoy us.
And that was the New England Revolution segment.
Oh, look, I can unmute myself.
Celtics.
Oh,
Celtics,
just wait,
baby. All right, we only have a few minutes left. Celtics, They're starting. They're coming back. Listen, I am so confused about my feelings for this team, guys.
Mhm.
So confused. I don't know if I like them. I mean, I do. I think they're going to be fun to watch, but do they have a chance?
Okay, but
Get
did
to
you
the
like last
finals?
year's team? Did you like last year's team?
Yes, but then I saw what happened in the postseason.
Okay,
Near
but then
the
why
end.
wouldn't you like this year's team?
Because I don't want the same result. I want a team in the
But
finals.
you're not going to get the same. You're not going to get the same result. It's
You
either going
said
to be
that
worse
last year.
because you're either going to be worse because the Nets are going to be in the way, or you're going to go to the finals because Tristan Thompson is a big deal.
Options.
Only two options. You're going to be worse, or you're going to the NBA Finals. That's it. Like
Wow, Jared, that's quite the take there, bud.
that's it. Like you're either
Quite-
not going
quite
to
a
get to the
take.
Eastern Conference. You're either going to not get to the Eastern Conference Finals and vastly underperform, or you're going to jump the leap the hump. Like that's it.
Do you put this year's team above last year's team? Minus Gordon
on-
Hayward, added Tristan Thompson.
On
Yes.
paper, yes. And you added Jeff Teague as a backup point guard, which you needed.
A legit
scoring
backup
off
point
the
guard.
bench.
Jeff Teague over Brad Wanamaker. I'll take it. Listen, no disrespect to Brad Wanamaker. Big Brad Wanamaker guy over here. But
Same. I was too. Best free throw shooter in the league.
I didn't know that.
92%
Won the free throw
last
title.
year.
Yeah.
Wow, what a title.
Mhm.
I was terrible.
Didn't
at
win
free
a-
throws
didn't
when I
win an
played
actual
CYO
title.
basketball.
Yeah.
That's,
makes sense.
they were free and you couldn't make them.
No. Listen,
You
I was terrible at basketball.
Oh my goodness,
Dang.
you
I
are
couldn't
fat.
hit anything.
You continuously just disappoint me, and this is just another thing that disappointed me.
I was terrible. I had one good shot. It was from the side. That's it. I was a forward. I was good for rebounds. That was it. I fouled out quite often. It sucked. I only played basketball because my friends were there. Everything else, basketball, not a fan of it. In Taunton, Massachusetts.
Trying to impress the ladies.
Yeah, listen. My free throws, probably about 17%,
Oh,
if that.
Oh.
Honestly, probably more like 7.
wow.
I was terrible. When I tell you I was terrible at basketball, I was terrible.
Nick
at
didn't
basketball.
practice. Nick just didn't practice.
No, I would go to practice in the cold. Basketball practice sucked. You'd go out in the cold. It was just wet. It was moist. You go out into the middle school gym. You would track in a bunch of water. It was gross. Basketball practice sucked. Anyway.
Yeah.
You look at the East right now. Where do you put the Celtics in the East?
Third.
Behind
Bucks and Nets.
Bucks and Nets. Okay.
That's it. That's
What
it.
about the Heat?
That's a big if the Nets actually work.
What about
But,
the
like,
Heat?
assuming-
the Heat beat you.
No, they're better. They're actually better than the Heat. And
You know-
Tristan Thompson solves Bam Adebayo.
You know what? I'm going to go a little bold. I'm going to go 2. And I'm going to say that the only team that's going to be better than them this year is going to be the Nets. Because I think for some reason, I know Giannis just signed
The
that
Bucks
big
are good.
extension.
The
I
Bucks
know
are
they're
good.
good.
The Bucks are good.
But the Celtics are good too.
Yeah,
The
but the
Celtics
Celtics
did
didn't
good.
add Drew Holiday.
The Celtics also added a rebounder, which you needed, and a backup point guard, which we just
I
talked
think
about.
Drew Holiday.
And shooters.
I think Drew Holiday is a tad overrated.
I
what
do.
he can do?
I think he is too, but I'm with you, Jared. I'm going to put the Celtics at 3.
Mm-hmm.
I have a tough time putting them any higher. I would like to put them at 2. I think they're close to 2. I think they are.
It's like, yeah. Who's better, Nets or Bucks? Where are we putting them?
I think the Nets overall.
I think the Nets too, because Kevin Durant, when he's healthy, and we'll see how he bounces back this year, obviously post-injury, Kevin Durant is the best player in the NBA right now when he's healthy.
See,
Yes.
on paper, I want to say the Nets, but with the Kyrie factor, I go Bucks.
With the Kyrie factor and what we talked about too in the group chat, I mean, just that. I don't know what they were doing. Was it?
It was like
a Skype or like
like an
a
IG
Facebook
Live,
Live, IG
I was
Live?
gonna say,
Yeah,
I
IG
think it was IG Live.
Probably
Live.
IG Live. They're sitting there talking about the upcoming season, and Kyrie starts talking about what he wants to do, and Kevin Durant was just basically like straight up, I thought we weren't going to do that. I thought we talked about not doing that, something like that.
Yeah.
So like, there's already friction going on with these two, and
Yeah, but
I
I don't
know
see
they're
the friction
both
being
super
there.
sensitive.
I see the friction being with everybody else. Like, because before these guys even were there, the Nets put together a solid roster.
I feel
Like,
bad for
they
Steve
had some,
Nash.
like, I feel terrible for Steve Nash. I don't even know why he took the job. But
It's a bad job.
Kyrie doesn't think they need a coach. So, like, whatever.
No.
Look, from far, I'm happy Kyrie's not our problem anymore, right? I think we're all well past Kyrie, and we're happy the way they are now. But if this team works, they're the best team in the East by far. But I
If.
don't think it's
a
going to
big
work.
If.
It's a huge if. If they don't work, it's 100% on Kyrie. And I fully believe that because Kevin Durant can make it work. Like, he's not that much of a D-bag. Kyrie Irving's going to walk in one day and just go, guys, you all suck. Figure it out. Like, that's like what he does. Like, he's just going to ruin that team. If he doesn't, somehow they're the best team in the East. But
It's
even
never his
that,
fault.
I still think they're better than the Celtics.
I mean, like,
No, never his fault.
He cannot keep his name out of the headlines. He has to always be involved. I mean, even just saying that he's not going to talk to reporters, dude, that's part of your contract. That's not something that you
and then
get
he
to
does
decide.
like the next day.
Yeah, it's not something you get to dictate. That's just part of your contract.
Listen,
Who was it in the Kyrie post? Kyrie posted something about, like, obviously all the stuff.
Oh, it was
in
Dame.
the IG Live.
It was Dame Lillard.
Yeah, it was Damian Lillard
Yeah.
in the comments. Just talk to the media, bro. Like, I love Damian Lillard.
Listen, real quick, just going back to the Celtics real quick because I know we're running short of time here. When you have fully healthy, and hopefully this first one's fully healthy, Kemba Walker, again, hopefully he's fully healthy.
He's an
Hopefully. I know.
Maybe like 90%, hopefully.
Listen,
That's
can
a hope.
can you guys let me dream for once without crushing
No.
my dreams?
Nope.
Well,
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Fair. Hey, listen, I just had to ask. That's fair. Marcus Smart, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Tristan Thompson. Those five on the court at any given time, I love the Celtics' chances. At the end of the game, those
too.
five, I love their chances. That's all I'm going to leave it at. Screw you guys for crushing my dreams per usual. So thank you.
I'll
See,
increase
I'll say
those-
one thing. Okay.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
if Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, if they both take big steps forward, because, I mean, Jayson Tatum's only going to get better, guys. He's entering year 4
So
here.
is Jaylen Brown.
And so is Jaylen Brown. They could both take legitimately big steps this season. And if they do, and they become legitimate superstars in this league, you've got two legit superstars on your roster in your starting five. And at that point, you have a chance, I think, at overtaking the Bucks at number 2.
So I know we're short on time. I don't remember where these rankings were, but Jayson Tatum was 11 in the league, and Jaylen Brown was 35. I think this list is everywhere. I just don't remember whose it was.
I think it was ESPN.
It was at ESPN?
I think so.
And I'm okay with starting Jayson Tatum at 11. I think he has the potential to be a top 10 player this year. Like, that's his talent. Jaylen Brown at 35 feels a bit disrespectful.
And I
Like-
hope he takes it like that.
Yeah, like Jaylen Brown is a top 20 player in this league. And you've seen it. I think we've seen it. His leap since he's been in the league, and he's been in the league a year longer than Tatum has been so consistent year after year. He's added something to his game every single year. Tatum's gotten better quicker, but Tatum also still has lulls in his game. Jaylen Brown is so consistent, and every year you just see the difference. And I know this year was a very short offseason, but for what we've been able to see, because media's not really allowed to practice right now, like, people are still saying that Jaylen Brown has gotten better since the end of the bubble.
There's been some murmurs that he looks
There's
damn
been
good.
some murmurs that he looks even better. And that's a very short amount of time since he's played in the bubble. So if those two keep progressing, and even the first part of the season, if Kemba's not playing, I think Teague does wonders for their game because Teague can find guys in the right situations, hit open shots. Like, I think they're a top 3 team in the East by far, depending on what order you want to put them in. And then Tristan Thompson just solves all the big issue. I can't wait to watch Tristan Thompson go against Embiid in the Celtics uniform.
Yes. Jaylen Brown's even saying Jayson Tatum's at a superstar level or very close to it. That should tell you everything you need to know right there.
It's going to be a good season.
So
it's going to be a good season.
Tonight,
so have I.
preseason, baby.
Al Nahigian, Jared Scali, Guys, we're going to be back next week for episode number 187, inching closer to the season. At that point, the Patriots, most likely another loss, as I believe they play the Dolphins this coming weekend.
Yeah. Hey, soon will be just the Celtics playing. So
yeah, soon it's just going to be the Celtics. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali, Alan Nahigian. Guys, subscribe on YouTube and iTunes, and also drop us a rating on iTunes as well, and then follow us all on Twitter too. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali, Alan Nahigian. Guys, we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening.
See ya.